Cool. So, hi everyone. Today we have another wonderful Standard Speakers Academy workshop, and our lead trainer today is wonderful Geeta Nai. So, I've known Geeta for a while now, and she's got very interesting way of looking at things. And she's a coach. She's an intuitive coach, and she's teaching people basically how you can use stress and turn it into success. So Geeta works a lot with tension, and today she's going to share with us how we can achieve that. So can we please put our hands together for wonderful Geeta? Woo!
Thank you, thank you. That's amazing. Thank you very much, Nadia. So raise your hands up who wants to learn how to be in that creative tension. Amazing, thank you. My name is Geeta Nai, and I'm certified intuitive coach and a transformation speaker. I help people connect to the truth, to the existence, who they really are, and create what they love from that space. But before I start, I would like to thank you all for being here. Your presence means so much to me. So please give yourself a big round of applause. Thank you, thank you. Napoleon Hill, who studied hundreds of most successful people in his time, has said that's the biggest failure of people is the inability to turn negative emotion into desirable outcome. So who wants to be here, be successful? Raise your hands up nice and high. Amazing, thank you. So I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think hundreds of entrepreneurs, do you think they had? Do you think most successful people in the world has problems?
Yeah.
Yes, of course they do. Yeah. So what Napoleon Hill is saying, that we must learn how not to get through problems, but learn and change that negative emotion into desirable outcome. And that's when you boost yourself stronger. And that's when you fulfill your desire and create things you love to create. So if you are facing any challenges or having any problems right now, so we would look at them and change them to your advantage. Who thinks that's amazing? Thank you.
Yeah.
Imagine having tools and techniques. So when you're going through really tough time, you could just get them out from your pocket and use them whenever you need them. So what I'm going to go through is all the tools and techniques and the structure. But before I start, I'm going to ask you, who's here feels stress? Anyone feel stressed today? Yeah? Yesterday, last month, last year, maybe 6 years ago, maybe all your life. We all suffer from stress. When you go to doctors, first thing doctor says to you, how is your health? Whatever you come here for, let's check your stress level. So everything they put it down, most of the time they put it down for the stress. So even if you're going for like losing weight or putting weight on, or skin problem, hair problem, menopause, anything in life, you can't sleep, usually doctor puts it down for the stress related symptoms. Because stress is the leading cause of poor health, failure in a workplace, breakup in relationship, and lack of fulfillment in life. And when we meet up people, we usually talk about how stressed we are. And we always say, I don't have time, I'm so busy. We always go on like this. And then there's a competition going on. We usually say, "You're so busy, I'm so busy, I don't even know what to do with myself." And this is the life we live. So the stress has become one of the metaphor that we use it all the time in sentence. That I'm stressed about this, I've got this going on, that going on. So this is why I have created my own YouTube channel called How to Turn Stress into Success. So if you want to watch the whole talk, you could search under Gita Nai, or you could search under How to Turn Stress into Success, because that's what we're dealing with, stress. Because when I first started this speaking, I never thought I would speak in public. I was so stressed. And I did 5 days intensive training. And after the 5 days, I was asked to travel to India, speak in India in a Women Economic Forum. So let me share. Okay, let's see if I could. Nadia, will you let me share?
You on your phone or your laptop? Because
Laptop.
you are able to share.
It says host disabled. So you
Try now.
Okay. Yeah, it's okay now.
Cool.
And now, where is it gone? So I had it earlier, and now it should be fine now. Okay, can you all see this?
Yep.
Yeah, oh, that's good. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so I was asked to speak in India, where there were 2,000 people, and most of them were successful entrepreneurs, and they were from all around the world. And this was beginning of last year, and then end of the last year, in last November, Women Economic Forum held another event. First time they held an event, 3 days event in London, where there were about 1,000 people from 50 different countries. So this is where I spoke again. And let's see. So as you see, there were successful people there, and you could see that Murray Diamond was there. So all these people, amazing people speaking amongst them. It was a great opportunity for me. And what I've learned about this is I love traveling around and spreading my message. So any of you can do that. All you need is a guidance and support. But it hasn't always been like this for me. There was a time in my life where I was being victim of my own circumstances. I was hiding in a shame and a blame. For the first 40 years of my life, I was searching for a feeling. I was searching for a purpose. I was searching for things I really wanted in my life. But I was searching for this in all the wrong places. I was searching for this in career achievements, relationships, nightclubs, and worst of all, validation of others. I was going through really tough time at that time, and nothing was working out for me. Not the way I wanted to. I was trying so hard. And suddenly I spiraled into depression. I appeared to be happy on the outside, but inside I was scared, afraid, and alone. I don't even know how I got to the state. Have you ever been to a state where things appears better on the outside than they felt inside? I was facing a lot of difficult situation. I could sleep at night, in the morning, turning the snooze button off over and over and over again. I was going through a really tough time. Can anyone relate to what I'm talking about? Yeah? So I was going through this tough time. And every morning, all I could think about is all the things were wrong in my life. Have you ever woke up in the morning and you felt sense of a dread going to a job you hate? And you're not happy within yourself? That was me every morning. I was going through deep depression. And around that deep depression, there were 2 deaths in a family. 2 young lads who took their life, one in the UK and one in India. They didn't have anything to do with each other. This was about a year or so apart. But what that did to me was it made me think about what life is about and why we're here. So what is our truth and what is our existence and what is our happiness? It made me think about that. And that's where my journey started. So I started asking questions. And first time ever, I started listening to my inner guidance. Because I wasn't willing to take it anymore, because I wasn't willing to go down the lonely, dark road. There has to be more than what I was experiencing right now. Can you relate? Have you ever felt that there has to be more than what there is? So this led me to the event, life-changing event, where I did 5 years of intensive training. And in those 5 years, I've learned tools and techniques, how to change your negative emotion into creativity, how to be in that creativity. And that's what I've learned. And using those tools and techniques, I have created, let me just put that down. I have created seeds of greatness. Why seeds of greatness? Ask me, why seeds of greatness? Because,
Why?
yeah, why? Because every single one of us is unique and we all have seeds of greatness inside us. And most people's seed is buried so deep that they don't know how to turn that seed into something useful to blossom, who they're supposed to be. So who are we and who are we supposed to be? See, when I first started this transformation work, the first question they ask you is, who are you? And generally people say, externally or who they are. They talk about their wealth, their status, their hobbies. Don't get me wrong, all of these things are really important, but none reach who you fundamentally are. Once you've done the transformation work, then they ask you the same question again, but this time you got deeper understanding about the truth, existence, and the happiness to who you really are. See, first 40 years of my life, I didn't know who I was because I was in deep suffering. And I didn't want to change. I didn't want to learn. I didn't want to love myself. I didn't want to do anything. But once I've done the transformation work, what I've learned from it is the pain wasn't coming from the core. It was how I was relating to the situation. So this is what was happening at that time. So I want to take you through a little process where you can experience a bit of that, who you really are. So if you could get yourself comfortable and just sit and just relax. And if I could ask you to close your eyes, please. So when you're all ready, closing your eyes. Closing your eyes brings your tension inward. So just be aware of where you are. And breathe in and breathe out. Be aware of where your feet are and where your back is and where you are in the room. Breathe in and breathe out. If you do have any thoughts popping in your mind, you don't have to do anything. Just be aware that they're taking you and gently bring your attention back to your breathing, because your breath is always there for you to come back to. So breathe in and breathe out. So when you're ready, you could open your eyes. Some of you might have found this nice. Others must have found it awkwardly long. And rest of you must have had lots of thoughts popping in, but that's part of the practice. It's like when there's lots of waves in an ocean, but when the waves quieten down, then that's when you see the stillness in the water. So more you practice, better you become. Because nowadays people talk about happiness. They will talk about getting your nails done or having a sports car. That's not happiness. That is your pleasure. It's not your happiness. What is your deep happiness is when you practice and when you connect it to the truth. That's when the happiness comes, and that's where the creativity takes place. So going back to who are you? Our true self is true spirit, true nature, creative spirits. That's who we are. We are all creative spirits. Once you master this, you could tap into your full potential, your gift, and you will shine the way you should be. The first thing you need to do is reprogram your subconscious mind. So, So we all go around telling stories. We love stories. And we believe we are the stories. It's when those stories take shape of its own, that's when life sucks. We walk around in this little bubble, and inside the bubble, there's a consciousness. There's 3 different consciousness. There's a super consciousness, which is your higher self. Then there's a consciousness, which is right now I'm talking to you. Be conscious about that. And then there is unconsciousness. So unconsciousness. So if I ask you to fold your hand, so if you could fold your hand and look down and check where your top hand is it right or left? And then if you unfold your hand and fold them to other way around, how does that feel? Uncomfortable, doesn't it? So when you're doing this process, you're going through this kind of space, that uncomfortable. Because it's being in unknown. Because we are too used to into our own habits, and we automatically, unconsciously, we just do it. And we don't want to try out anything new. So let me ask you something. Who's here has bad habits? Anyone has bad habits? Or you know anyone who's got bad habits? We all have. My dear dad, he loved life. And every time he talked about his family, he proudly said, I got a massive big family, and they're this and they're that. He will go on for hours talking about the family. But then within that conversation, he used to say, oh, there's no one there for me. And then because he said it so many times, he did it unconsciously. And because he did it unconsciously, he didn't even realize. And we lived in UK for a very long time, and he was ill for about 10 years or something. And he loved traveling. So he asked doctor that, I want to travel, and doctor said, I could only let you travel if you start getting better. So he started looking after himself, and he started getting better. So doctor gave him permission to travel. And he was so excited, he packed his bag and off he went to India. And when he went to India, he became extremely ill. He became so ill that he suffered so much. And when he died, all his family was in the UK. There was no one there for him. So what did he create from his unconscious bad habits? And this is what we all do. We're always creating things. So being aware of what's going on within yourself. So you got superconscious, consciousness, and unconscious. All that leads to subconscious. Because subconscious is, we have a deeper layer of awareness in subconscious. And deeper layer of awareness when we like, as soon as we're born up to now, what happened is everything is programmed in there. What you like, what you dislike, anything you do, anything you think, any emotion, everything is programmed in there. Because your subconscious is always saying yes. Subconscious mind is like a river flowing all the time. If you don't direct it to somewhere, you will flow in a path of least resistance. And for some, it's a negative path. For example, day-to-day life, we always experience when you want to go for a job or when you want to study or whatever you want to do, there's always something telling us, oh, I can't do that. We're always sabotaging ourselves. But it's not your fault by default. There is a conflict going on between your unconscious mind and conscious mind. We are continually recreating our own reality. Whether it's consciously or unconsciously, we are battling against ourselves all the time. So this is what goes on in unconscious mind. So we've got a battle on all the time. Because when you were a little baby, when you were baby with programmed conditions, having belief limitation put on you, we must learn how to clear them and reprogram it the way you want to. Because subconscious mind is always saying yes. So once you reprogram your subconscious mind, second thing you need to do is understand your ego. Because we all have ego that keeps us small and sabotages us. So what is ego? Ego is self-generated identity consisting of every belief. Every belief we believe ourselves about who and what we are. And this includes our personality, our talents, our likes and dislikes. Ego is what keeps us locked away in our mind, in the endless cycle. That's ego's job. Chattering, separating us from the present moment. It's the identity created and reinforced by the stories we tell ourselves. So let me give you an example of ego. When I was 4 years old, because ego is formed from age 0 to 7, we formed individual formation depending on our circumstances, environments and parents. And result of these conditions, we believe strategy to survive. It programs us to survive. And however, when we grow up, when we try to do something and things doesn't work out, our ego tries to stop us. Because that's what ego's job. So when I was 4 years old, I lived in India and my dad was a doctor. So he worked in different districts. So my parents left me with my grandparents. And my grandparents loved me, looked after me better than my parents would. But I believe strategy to survive, that I'm not important. Why did my parents took all my siblings with them and they left me on my own with my grandparents? So I believe strategy to survive, that I'm not important. As I'm growing up and I want to do something different in my life, things I love to do, doesn't matter how much I try, it doesn't work out. Because that's how ego works. Another example I could give you about ego is, when I was about 5-6 years old in India, and I remember playing next to neighbors. So we were friends, and like kids have fight. We used to fight, and then the parents used to get involved. And when parents gets involved, you know what happens? It gets out of hand. They say things what they're not supposed to, they hurt each other's, and they don't talk to each other for months and months and months. But we kids, we forget about it and we get back together within 5 minutes. That's an ego, because we always hold on to things and we always say who's right and who's wrong. Because the ego is a human condition, aspect of human conditions. We operate from ego. We generally obsessed about being right, wrong, blame and shame. We're not acting from the loving place, but from judgmental place. We're not acting from how can I give and how can I serve. Rather, how do I look and what do I get? This is how ego works. So ego is self-generated identity. Ego keeps you small and sabotages you. It doesn't want you to do the exciting thing. Until you understand your ego pattern, you're going to stay stuck. Once you release your ego pattern, you're going to be a few steps ahead. So next time your ego pattern comes up, you know which direction to take. And it's very important to do this. So first thing is reprogram your subconscious mind. Second thing is understanding we all have ego. And then third thing is energy. Energy is frequency. If you are holding on to certain kind of frequency, universe will present you those life experiences. So talking about energy, let's do some energy exercise. We'll do some energy exercise. So if I ask you to do a little process, so if you all get up please and find a space. You've got space around you. Okay, so if I could ask you to shake your right hand, shake your left hand, right hand, left hand, right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot, maybe both feet if you can. Let me know how to do that because I don't know. And shake your body, shake your body, your shoulder, let everything go. Anything that you're holding on to, just let it go. And shake, move your head and your shoulders. And relax your arms on the side. And just breathe in and breathe out and let all the stress just disappear, slowly, slowly disappear. And if I could ask you to peel your left heel off the floor slowly and then peel the other foot. And as you're peeling your heels off the floor, imagine you're pulling the energy from earth into your body. So you could lift your leg if you want to and just peel it off. And at the same time, put your hands up in the air and just imagine there's an amazing energy from above coming through your hands and to your body. And I want you to lift one hand at a time, put one hand down and then lift them one at a time. So at the same time, lift your feet up. So So what you're doing is pulling the energy from above to your body, and same time, you're pulling energy from earth to your body, and you're really getting energized, and you're clearing all your energy from whatever you're holding on to, the rushing, the stress, the tiredness, all that you're recharging. Okay, so if you could just put your hands down and put your both hands on your heart and just breathe in and breathe out. And may this energy be with you every breath and every step you take. So when you're ready, you could take a seat. Everything in life we operate is on a frequency. Whether it's lightweight, sound, microwaves, radio waves, everything is waves. If you look at a piece of solid stone or iron, and same time, if you look at it from eyes of physics, it's going to be piece of stone, it's going to be matter. But if you look at it through a microphone, you will see the frequency vibrating all the time. So if I had a piece of string attached to a pendulum and I swing it so fast with my other hand, I try and put my finger in, the illusion would be is a solid. And that's what kind of frequency works. So when in your body, when you're feeling heavy and when you're going through stuff, it's heavy. And the illusion is so heavy and you can't think clearly. But how do you shift that? And people do extreme things to shift it. But you don't have to do extreme, because when you were born, you were so light, and this is who you really are. But we build up with things and we hold on to it. We don't let it go. And this is what we do. Imagine if you walking in a room and you feel welcome and you feel like, God, I wish I could have come out earlier. I'm really enjoying myself. You're enjoying everyone's company. You're loving it. You don't want to leave. And you feel so good. And you know that you're going to have your day is going to be a good day. And you're in a flow. On the other hand, if you walk into a room and you intend to go there for a long time, but something's not right, you can't put your finger on what's wrong, you feel confused, things not clear, and you can't wait to get out from there. Nothing has happened yet, but you feel that something's not right here. That is energy too. Our bone, our skin, our hair, our teeth, our physical body Everything is energy. So what I mean is, if you're thinking, whatever your thoughts are, your frequency, that's what you're letting out. And that's how you're connecting to the universe. So tuning into that frequency, say a radio station, when you want to listen to a radio station, you need to tune into that station. Or you've got TV and you've got so many channels. If you want to watch Pacific channel, you get a remote and you tune into, you change the channel. And like right now, I'm speaking to you, you could hear me. You have capability of hearing my voice. That's attachment to your dreams. So this is what frequency and energy we're talking about. So if I say to you, you can manipulate time, would you believe me? See, who knows movie Matrix? Anyone knows movie Matrix? Yeah? Everyone knows movie. Amazing movie, I love it. Neo, the main character in Matrix, he slows down time by dodging those bullets. Okay, he doesn't really slow down time, but it appears to us that he slows down time because he thinks and acts so fast. That's why to us it seems like he's slowing the time down. But what I love about this scene is he doesn't even know or believe that he's the one. So straight after this scene, when his partner Trinity comes and she says to him, "You were just as fast as the agent." But he replies in disbelief that I wasn't fast enough, putting his fingers through the bullet hole in his clothes. Isn't that what we do? We always say to ourselves, sabotaging ourselves. But I have got a metaphor for you all, that you all have that power too. You just don't know how to use it yet. I'm not talking about time. I'm talking about energy of the thoughts. So whatever thoughts you're having, it has its own energy, it has its own frequency. That's what I'm talking about. Albert Einstein said, everything is energy. How energy flows through us, how energy directly dictates our life. You don't have to believe me. There are scientists who done test after test after test. And they came up with, we have 70,000 thoughts a day. That means we have a thought for a second. And the interesting thing is, only 5% of those thoughts are new thoughts, and 95% of our thoughts we are keep repeating again and again and again. Especially sabotaging thoughts, we just repeat them. We don't even realize we're doing them. So let's look at what's going on in our mind at the moment. So how many percent of negative thoughts you're having right now that's affecting your life and others? Because automatically we have these thoughts running all the time. Unconsciously we're thinking these thoughts so fast. Maybe you're still thinking about the Matrix scene. Or maybe you're shaking your head and saying, oh, that's not true. 70,000 thoughts day. So you're getting your mobile out, you're Googling. Or maybe you're judging me, you don't like the way I dress, the way I talk. It happens so fast. We sabotage ourselves that we're not good enough, we can't do this. We always telling this ourselves all the time. But the fact is, the thoughts create judgment, and the judgment creates decision. And it happens within a split of a second, that before you even realize it. So energy is a frequency. If you are holding on to certain kind of frequency, universe will present you those life experiences. How many of us attract relationship just like our parents, even though we know either our parents or the people around us, they're not happy in their relationship. And we know that we don't want that, but we attract the same thing. Why? Because we're holding on to that energy. That's how it works. So if you are holding on to certain kind of energy, you must learn how to release that and take on to high vibration, where universe works for you and presents you the people, the events, and open up doors for you. And this is a beautiful way of how process works. So number one, reprogram your subconscious mind. Number two, understand we all have ego. Then number three, energy is frequency. And finally, number four is direction. Directing all your energy into something you love to do. So, what is direction? Can you choose your direction? Do you believe in your direction? Can you find your direction? See, Nelson Mandela, he was, one of his interviews, he was asked that, how did you transform your life and how did you find direction? How can a man jailed for life in hard jail, he not only comes out, but he becomes president of the country that sentenced him for life? Who on the planet does this? So in the hard jail, all he had is a space, hardly for a bed, and he had nothing apart from four walls. So how did he do this? So all you need is your mind, body, and spirit. Wherever you are, whatever you're going through, you could use this and create and be in that creative tension. So I would like to share with you how you can create amazing life for yourself. Great human being once said, if you want to know what lies ahead, you need to look at the causes right now. You need to look at what action you're taking and what seeds you're planting right now. But there are some people who believe that you don't have to plant seed, you don't have to do anything, you just go with the flow and everything will be fine. And these are the people who have strong belief that they don't even step outside the door until they look at their horoscopes or stars, or have stars been aligned, planets been aligned. I got nothing against astrology. I got great respect for that. But people who just leave everything that just hoping that it's going to be fine. You just go with the flow. It's like being in a jail. That you got all these tools and techniques. You got your body, mind, and spirit. Use it as you need it to create what you love. We are all here to learn and grow. And when we learn and grow, we could help other people. And that's what direction is. Direction comes from within what you love to do. So imagine 1 year from today, we come back for reunion. And we're going to share what happened to us in the last 12 months of our lives. What would you love to be saying about your life? You would be, there's so many areas in your life you could be creating. Because we live in a spiral universe. So talking about spiral universe, let me take you through this little process, okay? So think about something that's really bothering you, or anything that's is not right, and just one thing that you're not happy with, just one thing. So if you could think about that, and then I want you to feel where you're feeling uncomfortable in your body. So just be with it and feel, where do you feel uncomfortable in your body? And squeeze it wherever it is. And give it a hug, not with your hand, but in your imagination. At the same time, I want you to imagine there's a 12 pool beneath your feet. And it's just going round and round and round. And it's so deep. And I want you to breathe in. And when you breathe in, I want you to breathe that every cell in your body's got oxygen, and your stomach is popping out. Is you got Buddha belly hanging out. Just breathe, breathe, breathe. And then I want you to breathe out. When you breathe out into this 12, I want you to imagine this thing is uncomfortable for you. You're letting go. It's go past your stomach, past your hips, past your legs, and into this 12 or pool. And I want you to let go of that. And then breathe in. And when you breathe in, you're breathing this healing energy from earth. And you're filling your whole body with this healing energy. And your whole body is filled with this healing energy from top of your head to your toe. And everyone around you is getting healed. Okay, and when you're ready, you could lose your focus and open your eyes. So we live in a spiral universe. In a spiral universe, there is ever upward pull. Little blade of grass feels, presses through cements and comes more itself today than yesterday. A tree presses through edges and comes more itself today than yesterday. Human being feels same thing, just a little differently. We feel for longing, we feel for discomfort, and we feel for discontent. We feel longing for greater freedom. We feel discontent in certain circumstances and situations. But if you keep breathing 365 days, you will create. The question is, will you be creating from your consciousness or unconsciousness? because that's what we do, we create. To learn and be in that consciousness, in this creative tension, and create from there, that's what's going to serve you. So direction is having laser focus, directing all your energy into something you love to do. Because there are people who just hoping. And you can't be in your greatness if you're just hoping. Think of best athlete. They don't wake up in the morning, they hope they're going to win gold medal. They wake up in the morning and they have plan, they have strategy, then their greatness. Can you handle pressure? Can you have laser focus? See, most people, they're not happy where they are. And they don't even know what they want in their life. How do I know this? Ask me, how do I know this?
How do you know it?
Yeah, I know this because I've been through this. And this is why I teach this. I want people to be aware, and they don't have to be in that place. They could be in that creative place and create the life they love. So this is what I teach, the tension techniques. So I love to invite you to join me to the journey. So if you are interested, I left a link in the messaging at the top, all the way at the top. And then you could put your name down and email if you want to learn, or if you just want intuitive reading. Because what happens is when I take you through this process, learning this subconscious mind, ego, energy, and direction, when it comes to direction, I take you through a meditation where you write down what you love to create in your life. And at the same time, I'm writing down for you. And so whatever intuitively I get and what you get, we compare that, and that's your direction. From the truth, not from your head. So it comes from your heart. So that could be anything. So if you want to know more about this, or you want to learn, or you just want to chat with me, I left that link in there. So just put your details and I will contact you. And I want to thank you all for taking part, and you've been a great audience. So thank you very much.
Woo!
Thank you. I'll stop.
Woo, 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 woo.
Thank you.
Well done, Geeta.
That was really good. That was really nice.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.